I quit my dream job and moved into my mom's basement. That's not even the craziest part of the story. The craziest part is that I think I might be becoming an Etsy witch, or maybe I always was one and now I'm just starting to realize it. I'm not really sure yet.
What happened?
Everyone talks about burnout, morning routines, boundaries, how to say no, touching grass, taking PTO, leaving out your designated hours, but nobody talks about how do you heal from burnout? Like, what does it take to heal? Because apparently it can take up to 5 years to recover from burnout. And honestly, I have no idea what that even means, so I thought I'd document it. On 2/9/26, I wrote in my journal, Kaylee mentioned that I may not actually be seeking self-confidence like I'd messaged in our first call, but the freedom to be one's true self. At first, I was a bit angry. I could never really be myself, I thought. And then I caught myself. Why not? Why couldn't I be myself? Why was I hiding my ADD? I loved my ADD. It makes me so good at so many things that normal people cannot be naturally good at. Then I got angry at myself. Why was I living around my ADHD and not using it as a tool? What the heck? Even after all this time, this is absolutely positively bonkers. In retrospect, I'm incredibly proud of myself for realizing this. All of this thinking was internal and done entirely on my own, and I am so proud of that. And I just want to recognize that for a second. A couple of days later, I did what any good old corporate American does when they hate their job, and I dove right into my side hustle or my small business. Dove into my soap business and made entirely too much soap. So much soap. I have soap coming out of my eyeballs still to this day. Finally, I admitted my stress addiction was back, worse than ever, and work was really just not helping. So I slowed down and I took a step back, and I decided that I need one pathway out, and I wasn't researching enough. I wasn't doing market research, or I just felt like I needed to know more about soap and just things in general. So I decided to start researching herbalism for my life and for my small business. I never did actually learn herbalism, but this is important for later on. My new intention suddenly became to start to build a life where I'm authentically myself in every way. But not much movement happened on that front because I honestly didn't even know what that meant. Late February to early March, I had a class taught by this lady named Kaylee. I can leave her details down below. During the class, we were supposed to write about an ideal day for us. A lot of people saw oh, I went to my favorite coffee shop, I woke up on time, I got to go to bed early, nothing went wrong. I saw myself learning and practicing how to heal others and therefore myself along the way. I got the message of heal yourself and others. And I'm in a tropical climate on a remote island. And that was just crazy because I've had this vision a couple of times where I'm healing myself and others, and that sounds so fun, to go to a remote island and heal yourself and others, and that just has always sounded like a dream, but I've never really thought of following that happy place, I guess. And for whatever reason, I just thought oh, it's Thailand. I have never been to Thailand. I don't even know what it looks like. For whatever reason, that's what came up for me and what I'm associating it with. So I immediately started researching and I booked a trip to Thailand, and that has herbalism and massaging. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of, it sounded right up my alley of what I wanted to do, so I signed up for it. So that'll be coming. That was step kind of 1 almost. I guess that's step 2. And from there, my intuition starts to develop, and I started hating New York I just started feeling like it was too loud. It's also winter, and one of the worst winters we've ever had. It is absolutely disgusting out. It is cold, it is loud. It's not a place to relax and zone out. It's a place to focus and lock in. I just wasn't benefiting from it in the way that I had previously, and I just start hating it. And I began to realize that the job that I had signed up for is not the job that I was doing. And I am really having to be a completely different person at work than I truly am. In April, I get Reiki done on me and decide to get attuned to do Reiki. I later go for my master attunement. I buy tarot cards and I start a website and Etsy selling these things. Not many people show interest yet. Then in May, I had to make a decision. My lease was up in June, and I had to decide whether or not I was going to stay in New York or leave or just change apartments. Like, I had to decide what I was gonna do. Leaving New York would have meant that I had to quit my job, and I ultimately decided to move out of New York. And I lived in New York for, I think I calculated it out, I think it was 6 years. So I loved New York, and I might post a whole video about like just loving New York and everything that there was in New York and everything that I was able to do in New York. But I basically started packing up right away after I decided. I told no one except my mom because I knew I was going to have to move into her basement. And I pack up and I move back home because there's so much going on. Like, I'm dealing with all of everything that I just said and all of my regular work shit and everything else, and I didn't want to. I'm strongly influenced, so if a couple of my friends said like, no, stay, I might consider it. so I knew that I couldn't tell anyone because I didn't want to be influenced in my decision. And eventually quit my job, and here we are now. So that's the journey so far. Somehow in the span of a few months, I went from corporate employee in New York City to living in my mom's basement, learning Reiki, studying herbalism, selling tarot readings on Etsy, and booking a trip to Thailand. So I don't know what comes next. I know I need to heal, and I know it will be a lot of work, but follow along to see how I heal. This isn't a tutorial or anything, it's just me learning in real time. Lots of love, Kelsey.